rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home on the other side. Hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Oh, hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home on, I got a home on, I got a home on the other side. Someday, gonna cross that river. Someday, gonna set out on my own. Don't know where my journey leads, but I'll keep on walking till I get me home. Yes, hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home, I got a home on the other side. Time life is a running river, flowing from the mountains to a distant sea. I've known many hills and valleys, but when I reach that ocean, I'll be free. Yes, hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me in your arms. Oh, I got a home, I got a home, I got a home on the other side. Yes, I got a home, I got a home on, I got a home the other side, on the other side.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. My name is Justine de Jager, and I serve as the Treasurer on the FirstU Board of Directors. Normally, if you would like more information about FirstU, it would be available at the welcome table at the back of the pews. However, while the FirstU building is closed because of the COVID-19 virus, you may instead contact us through email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. I repeat, for more information, please email us at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. After the service and future services, our normal hospitality hour will be replaced by a virtual get-together. If you would like to join us for the hospitality hour on Zoom, please see our website, www.firstunitarianottawa.ca, or our weekly email newsletter, the EUU, for information on how to do so. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, whomever you love, and however you identify, today you are a part of our spiritual community. Welcome. We hope you come back soon.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. My name is Mary, and I'm delighted to be your worship associate this morning. This morning, I welcome you into my home and the homes of various members of First Unitarian. Thank you for allowing us into your home. Some announcements. While the building is closed, staff is working remotely. Phone calls are checked less regularly, so please email for a quicker response. Emails are monitored during usual working hours. Now that we are not seeing each other in person, please sign up to receive the EUU, which is our weekly email newsletter, or check our Facebook page or our web page for notices and updates. There is lots going on, admittedly online at the moment. Do look to this week's EUU and website for a variety of announcements, including trivia nights, discussion circles, climate action, meditation, Sunday morning forums, and how to get involved with the annual pledge drive. The pledge drive is our major source of revenue and so very important during these troubling times. Mark your calendar as well for the Canadian Unitarian Council's fall gathering mid-November. Go to the cuc.ca website and look up the events section for more details.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you, and now I need you, and you are gone. So I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have few things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember that I was told. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I think on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh and made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. Think on these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all I need to hear. I know a please, a thank you, and a smile will take me far. I know that I am you, and you are me, and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been blessed again and over again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes.
Bonjour. Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Pat Guthmann Haresch, minister of the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. And as this is the time of year when since ancient times, as far as we know, people have remembered the dead. It's considered a time when the veil is thin between the living and the dead. Call it Halloween or Samhain or All Souls Day. And to mark this time and before we light the chalice, I read the late Mary Oliver's poem, When Death Comes. When death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut, when death comes like the measlepox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and I look upon time as no more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility, and I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy, and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending as all music does toward silence. In each body, a lion of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say all my life, I was a bride, married to amazement. I was the bridegroom, taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I made my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. May it be so for each of us. Let us sing the Chalice Song.
Chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we'd like to live each day with love and truth helping lead the way.
Hi everyone, happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well. The story I'm sharing with you today is titled Always Remember, and it's by C.C. Meng. In the end, on his very last day, Old Turtle swam his last swim and took his last breath. With his life complete, the gentle waves took him away. By dawn, everyone who knew Old Turtle knew he was gone. The turtles playing in the reef remembered how he taught them to swim. Old Turtle had been a good teacher, and the turtles would always remember. The broadback humpback whale remembered how Old Turtle swam alongside her and kept her company when she became separated from her pod. Old Turtle had been a good friend, and the whale would always remember. The sea otters remembered how Old Turtle would dive and play with them and make them laugh. Old Turtle had loved to have fun, and the otters would always remember. The dolphins remembered how Old Turtle was curious about the unknown and bravely swam with them far out to sea. Old Turtle explored the darkest of the waters and discovered glittering jewels to show his friends, and the dolphins would always remember. Once, a terrible storm tossed and turned the ocean for 3 long days, and nights. A starfish was torn from her rock and swept away when the waves became calm again, Old Turtle looked for her, and he found her and carried her home, and the starfish would always remember. When Old Turtle found a manatee tangled in a fishing net, he snapped and pulled and would not stop until the manatee was free. The manatee told the story to his children, and they told the story to their children. Old Turtle would never be forgotten. Once upon a time, there was an old turtle. He was a wonderful teacher and friend. He loved to laugh and have fun. He explored the unknown and discovered great things. He showed kindness and strength, and he made his world a better place. When he was done, the ocean took him back, but what he left behind was only the beginning. I hope you enjoyed that story. Again, the title is Always Remember, and it was written by C.C. Meng. Wishing everybody a great Sunday. Take care. Bye.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Ellen Bell. I am the spiritual care visitor for First Unitarian, and I am a community minister affiliated with this congregation. This is the time in the service when we can send our earnest hopes and wishes, which some people call prayers, to the people who we care about. I invite you to think about your relationship with this community and how it can support you in the good times and the not so good. Think about your hopes and your hurts and how sharing them with like-minded people can make you feel. In this COVID time, getting together is much more difficult than it used to be, so I encourage people to stay in touch with people in the congregation and otherwise, whether they manage to get together in person with social distancing, or they have a telephone call or Zoom, or one of these other ways that we can get together. I encourage you all to stay in touch as much as you can. We can help each other that way. The meditation this morning is called The Church Has Left the Building by Margaret Weiss. The church is not a place, it is a people. The church is not only a steeple above the tree line, streets and cars. Rather, it is a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and of justice. The church is not walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person linked with person, linked with person. All ages and genders and abilities, a community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The church is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The church is not simply a building, a steeple, a pew. The church is a gathering together of all the people and experiences and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache, and pick up hope and love. For the church is us, each and every one of us, together a beacon of hope in this world that so sorely needs it. May it be so. This is the time in the service when we celebrate or give our condolences to people who have joys and concerns. We commemorate these by placing stones into a bowl of water. Today we have a couple of sorrows. I am sad to report the deaths of Connie Legg and Kay Walker. We are hoping that Ron is healing up and hope that his procedure is going forward as planned on Monday. And we would like to send our best wishes, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of stones in for this one. I'm going to send our best wishes to our friends in the United States, hoping for a good outcome of the election on Tuesday. I will put one last stone in for all the joys and sorrows that are held in our hearts. We wish people well and hope that they are coping all right and maybe perhaps would like to share something with somebody to make them feel better or to celebrate with them. So may it be.
As has become our custom on All Souls Day or around that time, we honor those who have gone before. Those souls we remember still. In the words of the Reverend Kathleen McTeague, it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in the choice of living. It is right to name the power of hard lives well lived. We share a history with those lives. So let us remember now those who died this past year, those who we wish to honor and name. As I call out those of our FirstU family who have died this year, feel free in the space where you are. Feel free right now to call out into the space and the air where you are. Call out loud those names of those you know who have died this year. The usual bowl I use is in my office in the church building, so we'll use these. I will alternate calling out names and ringing these. Maggie Cox, Doug Fogarty, Marilyn Prevost, Pat Jessup, William Henry, Bob Stevenson, Joyce Sweet, Richard Kowalski, Tellis McFadden, Reverend Vernon Nichols, a former minister, Barbara McDonald, Connie Legg, Jamie Dunton, Kay Walker, let us remember now the names of those whose lives and voices still move and speak through us. As you are willing, call out loud the names of your ancestors, friends, teachers, mentors, loved ones who have gone before no matter how long ago, yet are near you today and live within us still. My grandma Ruth, my father Howard Guthmann, my teacher Mrs. Disney, I know Marlene Kohler's mother passed away. Other names you wish to say out loud? We remember them, all those we named and those that came to mind. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
There is no word for goodbye. A poem by Mary Tall Mountain, a poet and storyteller of Scotch-Irish and Koyukon descent. The Koyukon are indigenous Alaskan Athabascan peoples. I will share that Sequoia means aunt, a mother's sister. Sequoia, I said, looking through the net of wrinkles into wise black pools of her eyes. What do you say in Athabascan when you leave each other? What is the word for goodbye? A shade of feeling rippled the wind-tanned skin. Ah, nothing, she said, watching the river flash. She looked at me close. We just say, tla. That means, see you. We never leave each other. When does your mouth say goodbye to your heart? She touched me, light as a bluebell. You forget when you leave us. You're so small then. We don't use that word. We always think you're coming back. But if you don't, we'll see you someplace else. You understand? There is no word for goodbye.
I imagine Halloween was a little different for everyone this year, and I feel badly for those who love Halloween. a time of dressing up and parties and tricks and candy and watching the children have fun. I love answering the door for trick-and-treaters to see, you never know what, all the adorable little ones and creepy older ones and sometimes creepy little ones. A night of surprises, yes. I always wear this. This is my once-a-year robe that I wear. Imagine me dressed as a fortune teller or a ghost or a vampiress. Yes, it's perfect. But it was a little quieter this year, eh? The history of Halloween is so mixed and mysterious. As a Christian tradition, it goes back to perhaps the 6th century as a day to remember treasured souls who have died. But clearly there are pre-Christian roots of this commemoration. The Halloween festivities and decorations that came to North America from Europe seem to be a mix of autumn harvest, beginning of winter types of festivals, and the Gaelic festival of Samhain or Samhain, happening about halfway between the equinox and winter solstice. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, halfway between the autumn equinox and winter solstice this time. It was considered a time when the doors were open to the other world, the spirit world, as it is said, when the veil between the living and the dead is thin. When the last glorious swan song of autumn trees mark a time of slumber and repose in northern places. We know this time of year, when Halloween falls on the calendar, has been marked as far back as Neolithic times, so thousands of years ago. There are Neolithic tombs in Ireland with openings that align with the sunrise each year at Halloween. Kind of gives you the chills, yes? So often in our current culture, we try to put the looming reality of death in the corner. Either the reality of our own impending death, or we attempt to bundle up our complex mourning, our love and regret regarding those who have died, and try and kind of bundle it up and shove it all aside. If you don't do it yourself, all those who care about you will remind you not to dwell on the dead for too long. Movies, ghost stories, novels portray the dead and the underworld as creepy. In other words, don't go there. Ooh, right? Contrast this to Mexico's Day of the Dead, their celebration from Halloween to All Souls Day. At first, it looks to our eyes to be gruesome and terrifying, with its abundance of dancing and grinning skeletons and skulls all around. But it is a beloved time when the living remember the departed relatives. Decorations are infused with bright yellows and oranges, bright flowers and candles to guide and welcome souls back to their homes, where altars and feasts are waiting for the ancestors. Rather than darkness and creepiness, Day of the Dead celebrations are full of brightness and joy, feasting rituals that lovingly and happily are remembering dear departed ones and the lives of those who have gone before. A celebration like the Day of the Dead, and by the way, Neo, our Director of Religious Exploration, put in last Friday's EUU a lesson about the Day of the Dead. A celebration like Day of the Dead, although one time of year, gives expression to an impulse, a feeling of carrying with us those who have gone before, perhaps in memory or in a sense of presence. As Mary Tall Mountain noted in the reading that Mary shared, in the tongue of Mary Tall Mountain's aunts, indigenous Koyukon people, There was no word for goodbye. There's just tla, meaning see you. Her aunt says we never leave each other. When does your mouth say goodbye to your heart? More folks gathered here today than would like to admit in public. Perhaps continue to hold conversations in our minds at the graveside by a picture to the sky with departed loved ones. To update them, thank them, or ask, how could you have done that to me? Or what should I do? Yes. I think of you May Sarton's poem, All Souls, which can be found in our hymnal. Did someone say that there would be an end? An end? Oh, an end to love and mourning? What has been once so interwoven cannot be unraveled, nor the gift ungiven. The dead move through us as their lives have touched our lives. I remember having the rich experience of seeing the late African-American poet Maya Angelou speak in person. She filled the room, right, with her beautiful voice and presence. When she began, she talked about how she didn't come onto the stage alone. She brought into the room, she said, with her all her ancestors, teachers, mentors, friends, perhaps even detractors. The dead move through us as their lives have touched our lives. Or whether we like it or not, we have a mother's eye, a father's stubbornness, a distinctive family laugh. It's true of my family. An encounter with a long ago stranger that changed our lives. The remaining sting of hurt from a former friend, a teacher or mentor that saved us from ourselves. I wonder in your own life when the veil between the living and the dead seems thin. When you swear someone from long ago is present with you. There have been times in my life when I'm in a crowd of people and I smell a whiff of cologne that reminds me of my late grandfather, or a waft of perfume that immediately brings to mind my late grandmother. And for a moment, it's like time has stood still, as if I've been taken back to a moment when, if I turned around, I might find them in the crowd. For a moment, it's as if I'm whatever age or state of mind I was in when they were alive, and memories flood my mind. It's visceral, like they are somehow present in the room with me. Or when I catch a glimpse of Daphne, right? See the antique bust behind me? It's Daphne that sits up there. When I look at Daphne, I'm transported back to my grandparents' den, where the bust once stood so long ago near the television on shelves behind it, in a house where I spent holidays and as a child. I'm beside my grandmother's chair where she is watching whatever sport is on, as she always did. I mean, especially in American Thanksgiving, that was football, right? There she was watching the sport. I imagine there are smells, sights, sounds, foods, a strain of music that also might transport you to the side of someone long gone. The late Reverend Roy Phillips was the minister who came to my UU congregation when I was 10. He mentioned in a sermon that I have kept of his, in the old paper copies you would have before the internet, yes? An experience he would have from time to time, he mentioned in this sermon. And perhaps this has also happened to you. Walking down the street or driving in a car past other people on the pavement, he would see people he would recognize, and in a split second, remember that the person he was seeing had died. Then in an instant, he'd realize it was someone else altogether who was actually there on the street. He realized and said this, No doubt experiences like these of mine were the origin among early men and women of stories and theories about what happens after death, about returning, haunting, visitations. But rather than toss these visitations aside as crazy, he would speak a word of greeting to them. Hello, Helen, Earl, Jim, Eileen. Greet them without receiving an answer, and would continue on his way. Acknowledge and honor their memory. He felt refreshed by the memory of those who have gone before. These visits, he felt, were a blessing rather than a haunting. But there are those whose presence fill us less with a feeling of blessing and more with sadness, regret, missed opportunities, perhaps family information we will never learn. May the sting soften over time. May they fade, or may we make peace with such memories. There are various ways we witness the presence of those long gone still in our lives, some of which are in the form of wise words, precious stories, tough lessons that continue to influence our days. Again, words from Roy Phillips. Our lives are woven into the lives of those we love and of some of those we do not love. And when the other goes, when the other dies, our lives, ourselves are broken, are torn. The interaction pattern we had with them is sundered, and we hurt and mourn. Yet, as we grow and change, our relationships with those who have gone before grow and change too. They are gone, yes, but they are not so entirely gone that they have no impact. When the dead return, Roy says, greet them. In the spirit of the Day of the Dead, may we honor those now gone who touched our lives and made us who we are in some way or another. May we feast with them at the altar, as is the custom. May we continue to hear and discern the lessons they offer. Words from our hymnal by R.B. Gittleson. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us, as we remember them. May it be so.
Listen more often to things than to beings.
Thank you for joining us this morning at First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. This is the time in our service that we usually accept the offering. You may go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how you might keep up with your pledge or make a donation during these very unusual times. We give these gifts freely. We receive these gifts gratefully. We dedicate these gifts to the work of the congregation, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another.
Hello again. As we are in the midst of our annual pledge drive, a word to remember to send in your pledge forms. In this year 2020 marked by a global pandemic, FirstU was able to thrive because you maintained your pledges and have given donations. As we face another year that may still be unfortunately marked by COVID, please do remember to pledge. In the words of the Lebanese American writer, poet, and artist Khalil Gibran, there are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor do they give with mindfulness of virtue. They give as in yonder valley, the myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. Thank you for all you do and give to FirstU. If you don't have a pledge form handy to complete, please look to this past EUU and the website to complete your annual pledge. We are so grateful for the gifts you give. Thank you. Before we extinguish the chalice, let us close with words from UU poet, the late May Sarton, the full poem that I referenced in the sermon. Did someone say that there would be an end? An end? Oh, an end to love and mourning? What has once been so interwoven cannot be raveled, nor the gift ungiven. Now the dead move through all of us still glowing, mother and child, lover and lover mated, are wound and bound together and in flowing. What has been plated cannot be unplated. Only the strands grow richer with each loss, and memory makes kings and queens of us. Dark into light, light into darkness spin, when all the birds have flown to some real haven. We who find shelter in the warmth within, listen and feel new cherished, new forgiven. As the lost human voices speak through us and blend our complex love, our mourning without end. What has been once so interwoven cannot be raveled, nor the gift ungiven. May we remember this. Let us sing the Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, cool
Go in peace, go in joy, go in love. Happy Halloween.